Hello everyone, this is Nanda. Today's topic is data structures in Python. These are the data types in Python: int, float, complex, bool, bytes, byte array, string, list, tuple, dict, set, and frozen sets. Let's start with int. Integer data type. Integer data type has a number without any decimal, say 23, and also 3476. The length can be anything. There is no any constraint like length in Python. It only depends upon your memory and architecture. Let's have some examples with integer. I have assigned variable a is equal to 23. Type of a gives me a class integer. Similar way, I can assign integer of any length. Type of a gives me an integer. It only depends upon your memory. Similarly, another data type, float. Float has a number after the decimal point, say 23.8989. Let's go to the Python interactive shell. Suppose I have assigned 23.9898 to a variable a. Type of a gives me a class called float. Similarly, another data type, complex. Complex is widely used in data science, machine learning, and data analytics. Complex is of the form a plus b j, where a is a real number and b is an imaginary number. 1 plus 2j. Let's go to the Python interactive shell, where I have assigned complex variable 1 is equal to 1 plus 2j. Complex 2 variable is equal to 3 plus 5j. You can add complex numbers 1 plus complex 2. Here you can see you can directly add the complex data type. Another data type is boolean. Allowed values are true and false. Always remember T is caps in true and F is caps in false. Suppose I have assigned A is equal to true. Can you see that name error? Name is equal to true is not defined because T is always caps in a bool data type. Coming to other data types, bytes and byte array. Both are similar, bytes and byte array. Only difference is bytes is immutable and byte array is mutable. So bytes can't be changed and byte array can be changed at runtime. For knowing these bytes and byte array data types, we need to know about built-in data types called bytes built-in method and byte array built-in method. With these methods, we can convert a data type into bytes or byte array. Let's go to the Python interpreter shell. Coming to that, bytes takes 3 arguments. One is source, encoding, say base64 or UTF-8, and errors handling actually. All these 3 things are optional for bytes as well as byte array. Let's take an example. I have a list, comma 2, comma 3. I need to convert this list to byte. So I need to use built-in method called bytes, and argument will be the source. If you take type of B, gives me a bytes class. If you print this, you can see here it's converted to bytes. Similar way we can do with the byte array. Byte array of source. If you give type of C, gives me byte array. The only difference between bytes and byte array is bytes are immutable objects, whereas byte array is a mutable object. And one more thing we need to know about bytes and byte arrays, its range is from 0 to 256. So whenever we go out of this range, we will get an error. Let's check that error. You can see here value error. Bytes must be in the range of 0 to 256 because one of the element in the source is out of range of this 256. Coming to another data type, string. What is a string? String is a sequence of characters. Remember, there is no char in Python. These are things we will discuss in string data type: indexing, slicing, string operations, and some of the built-in functions in string. How to create a string in Python? String can be created by enclosing characters in single quotes, double quotes, or even triple quotes. My string I have enclosed in single quotes, say Python programming. You can also do the same thing with double quotes. Both are valid. Or even in triple quotes. Usually these triple quote strings are usually used for doc strings, where we need to write our documentations in the functions as well as in classes. Let's take one example. Where I need to access characters in a string. How do I access characters in a string? You can access characters in a string by indexing as well as by slicing. What is indexing? I can show you a picture. Indexing can be done in front manner as well as in rear view. Suppose I need to access the first element in a string. My string of 0 gives me capital P. This is called indexing. Suppose you need the first element, so string of 0 gives me the first element. Suppose second, even the negative indexing is also possible in Python. Suppose I need the last element in a string. I can give it as -1. It takes me to the last element in that string. While trying to access a character out of index range will raise you an index error. Suppose you are trying to access index which is say 50. You will get an index error where it says string index out of range. And when you are trying to access by float, suppose 1.5 gives me a type error where it says type error string indexes must be integers. Indexing is more useful to access individual characters of a string by using Python's array-like indexing syntax. It's most important to remember that Python indexing is zero based. That is, the first item in a sequence is number 0. As I have shown the image, first element starts with 0 and so on. And when it comes to rare view, the first element will be having negative index, say -1. Python strings are immutable and Python also allows slicing. What is slicing? If you want to extract a chunk of a string or a substring from a whole lot of a string, we'll go with slicing. Slicing is more of a extension of square bracket syntax a little. You can specify begin and my string. I will specify begin. Say from where I need to start. Say from 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need only 4 elements. I will go with end where I say 0 to 5. And we can also specify the step. So if I want to skip 1 or 2, I can specify the step. Everything is optional in slicing. Begin is inclusive and end is exclusive. And if you give step as positive, it will be in a positive forward direction. If step is negative, it will be in reverse direction. If you did not give the begin, it will start from the beginning of the string. If you did not give end, it will be till end of the string. By default, step size will be 1. We have an example, say my string is equal to Python programming. I need to have Python has my substring, so I will slice it with from index 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I will slice it with 6 because 6 is exclusive. Coming to another substring, I need programming as my string, so I will slice it with 7 to 19. You can go with indexing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So begin will be inclusive and end will be exclusive. So I have an issue where I don't know the index or I don't know the end of the string. So I will go with :6 where begin is not mentioned, so it will take from the start of the string. In the same way, if you did not mention the end, so it will take the till end of the string. I have given a step size as 2. So if you go to that programming, P, R will be skipped, O, G will be skipped, R, A will be skipped, M. You can see the output here. Similarly, we can also give step size in negative manner. Here you can see the begin will be 7. So P Space is also an item in string, so it will also be considered P space N O H T Y P. If you give step size as negative, write a program to reverse a string. Suppose I have a string, say A is equal to Sachin, where I need to reverse this string A of, I need not to specify any begin and end, I just have to give -1, so it will reverse my string. So coming to string operations, concatenations and repetitions. How do you concat a string? You just have to use a plus operator. Suppose A consists of Sachin and B has Kohli. In order to concatenate two strings, I just have to use plus operator. Gives me Sachin and Kohli. When it comes to repetition, suppose I need to have Sachin 10 times. I just have to give star 20 or 10. Prints me Sachin 10 times. You just have to use this operator star, which multiplies this string into 10 times. You can also just concatenate a string without any operator. Say Sachin and Kohli. It will concatenate two strings. If you print A, it says Sachin and Kohli as a single string. Next will be how to iterate through the string. We can iterate through string using for loop. For a variable I in keyword A colon print I. It will iterate through each and every item of a string. You can see it here, it has iterated through each and every item. We can also check substrings in here. Suppose Sachin has S, so we can check whether S in Sachin, it returns me true. The same way, if you check for U in Sachin, I will get a false. You can also check for a substring. Similar way, there is one more keyword called not in. Q not in Russia. It says true. So Q item is not there in this Russia string.